This episode of Death Battle Cast is sponsored by Raycon and Bombas. Stay tuned for some great deals you can get with them later on in the show.
Well, look at that.
Oh, hi. Welcome
Came at us real quick there.
to the Death Battle Cast. We are the cast and crew of Death Battle. That's what you usually say, right?
Yep.
I'm Ben. I am the voice of Wiz.
I'm Sam. I do a thing here occasionally.
I'm Josh. I edit.
And I'm Dave. I am a 3D animator on Death Battle.
Cool.
In general, just in general.
So specifically, you guys both worked edit and animation for the latest Death Battle that just came out for first members,
Correct.
and is coming out for YouTube if you're watching this live. First of all, awesome, on Wednesday. And if you're watching this archive, then it's already out on Wednesday, and hopefully you've already seen it. But this latest episode, Ganondorf versus Dracula. Super proud of how you guys put this together.
The first time we've done it in like the Steam Workshop style.
Yeah.
Source Filmmaker.
Source Filmmaker.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've never tried Source Filmmaker for Death Battle animation before. We weren't really sure how it would work per se, and before Dave came on, we never actually had anybody who had a lot of experience with it. But then we met you. How long have you been with us?
Actually, the thing that got you hired was a DBX that you sent us.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was Source Filmmaker.
Yeah,
It's very
I
cool
was.
fight.
I saw like it was Diva versus Tron, and
Which went up DBX last year. Shameless plug. Go watch all DBX. Fucking binge it.
well, you made that
Yeah.
like, over a year ago, right?
well over a year.
Yeah. Like I did it in like January, I think, and
of last year.
Like
of last
2018,
year,
yeah.
Not this
2018.
year,
Yeah.
last year. So it's been a year and a half or
while.
so.
Yeah.
And then it just went up a couple months ago with a new restructuring of DBX with Ringmaster and whatnot. And phenomenal work. Obviously got him hired. And evolved into this thing where we were like, okay, so we make 3 to 4 3D animations every year, right? Okay. Moving forward, we do want to have more episodes in a Death Battle season. How can we also make sure that we have more 3D episodes? Well, if we have a separate, I guess, division or like 3D animating sort of resource, maybe we could do that. And so that's when Source Filmmaker got brought up. Maybe we could find people who could do excellent Source Filmmaker animations for us. And you look up Source Filmmaker on YouTube and you
find some stuff.
find stuff. So Source Filmmaker is kind of a beginner level, maybe not beginner level, but like an entry sort of program.
Yeah,
right.
I can
Where
see that.
where it helps a lot of people who have never tried 3D animation can jump
it's
in.
more so Source Filmmaker is a very accessible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like a iMovie?
No,
in terms of
it's,
editing.
It's. I mean, it's got
It's
its
fully
own.
featured.
It's robust,
just
but-
very accessible, and you can get in there and play around for free. So you definitely have a lot of people on all sorts of
Right,
different
the spectrum.
professional levels working.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
makes
it's
sense.
not just for new people. Like, you
Yeah.
can look at Ganondorf versus Dracula. Holy shit, these guys
Yeah.
did such a phenomenal job.
I'm blown away every time I watch it. I had it on repeat. The fight on yesterday when it went live.
But Source Filmmaker definitely has a reputation of people who are really good and just trying it out, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. But obviously, when you announce you're doing a death battle in Source Filmmaker, there are plenty of people who go, what? That's weird. Like, why aren't you using the professional program or whatever?
Well, I feel like it is kind of like a decade ago when you said like, oh, it's a Flash animation.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
was very. If you had something in your mind, it was like this like
Grounds.
Newgrounds
Yeah.
level
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
then you see other Flash animations that look like a fucking Disney movie, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, so like it's not. It's just because that's just it's accessible and that's what you see.
I don't know if you know this, but like a lot of I'm pretty sure all of the Team Fortress 2 shorts that are on Valve's YouTube channel were made in Source Filmmaker.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was their big selling point.
Yeah.
When they were first releasing Source Filmmakers. This is because they've been using it. Valve had been using it for years.
Yeah.
Up until that point, they had been developing this and using it to build their commercials and stuff. And then they released it to the public. I believe that's the story. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
But huge shout out to Daito, Duvad, and Devil Artemis for teaming up with David, the 4Ds.
It was a pleasure working with all of them.
And also, of course, the unstoppable duo of Luis and Christina jumping in to help out as well. And all of you guys combined along with Brandon Yates on the music, and of course Josh on the edit, and Liam on the writing. Like all-star team going on here, making one of my favorite episodes, I think, of all time. Honestly,
It was a blast working on it.
great one.
I learned
Yeah.
a lot too because the comments are probably going to beat me up for this. But I've never played a Zelda game, and besides the Netflix series, I don't know very much about Castlevania.
Wait, okay. So if we have somebody who is really knowledgeable on Legend of Zelda on this, then suddenly we're biased. If we have somebody who's not knowledgeable, is
On
that like
either? Like,
is that
What
like
does that
the
mean?
like the far opposite? Like he doesn't know anything.
This guy
He's
doesn't-
so unbiased.
He's gonna mess it up.
No, well, that's obviously why we have a decent-sized team working on this, so everybody can pick up after each other and make sure we're all making the best possible thing. And of course, Josh jumping into it. Well, all right, if Dave has embarrassed himself about Zelda and Castlevania, what about you, Josh? How familiar are you?
I've only played Breath of the Wild. That's it.
Really?
Of all the Zelda games. I mean, I played
that's
it for
a
like
pretty
100
Yeah, no,
hours.
damn good one to play if you're
Yeah.
going to pick one.
That's it.
I think I've played all of them except for like a couple of the advanced ones, like the GBA ones. I never played.
They had the
Minish
Oracle
Caps,
games,
but
and I only
played
played
the
one of
Shadow
those.
Train one, I think.
Oh, really? The Spirit Tracks?
Yeah, I think.
I never
so.
played that one. That one looked kind of lame to me.
Yeah, I know. And then like the older Game Boy, like Link's Awakening and shit. But
Yeah.
Did you play the remaster one yet?
No, I haven't played it yet.
I've heard really good things.
I'm
about
sure
it.
it's fucking excellent. Like,
Yeah.
it was
looks
a very
cool.
good game, and now it's a very pretty game. Too.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, great. Yeah. And then I think I've played pretty much every Castlevania.
I haven't played any of the Castlevania. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I did learn there's a lot of Castlevania games. I thought there were only
yeah.
like
Yeah.
3.
No.
But there's like
So many.
And Castlevania
I mean,
lore,
they get
like
to-
you've probably jumped into this. Like the
They get
story
to
of
5
Castlevania
on
gets
the Super
crazy.
Nintendo.
Yeah. Are
Like,
you
know,
serious?
Yeah, because you get to Well, I guess it's technically
Uh,
Super Castlevania is 5, right? Cause,
Super
well, they
Castlevania is
have-
4.
But including Bloodlines, it's
Oh,
their
sure.
fifth game because
They
they have
had some
Bloodlines
spin-off
on
things.
Genesis, and then so yeah, you have yes.
I mean, that was the classic,
2 on the NES, 1 Genesis, 2 Super Nintendo.
in the 8-bit, 16-bit eras, there was less porting of games and more. We make Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for NES, but then we're gonna make the Mega Man like other 1, 2, 3, 4 for like Genesis and Game Boy. It's different games.
because they weren't. It wasn't like built on a system where you could like
Yeah.
make the same game for both consoles. Like today, like it was. I guess
yeah.
it
Yeah.
seemed very different.
So Castlevania kind of had a
And
little bit of
sometimes
that
you
going
have
on.
weird games where it's like they tried to make the same game on both, but they have like their own weird little differences.
Right.
And like like Aladdin is like very similar but different games on both.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But another big thing has happened this week. We'll probably keep talking about Ganondorf vs. Dracula. As we've started doing, the Q&A for Ganondorf Dracula will be next week after the episode has aired on YouTube. We are doing this live before it goes public on YouTube. But we've also released the Death Battle game! Death Battle card and dice game!
You're gonna Vera White me, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so this game, it's kind of been a passion project of mine for over 2 years now. And I've been bringing it in to the office. Like I've been making early versions of random ideas that I would have to make a dueling game, and I would bring it into the office, and a bunch of us would sit down and play through it, and these guys would give me notes and talk trash when they needed to, and talk praise when it was deserved. And eventually, I was able to pitch it to Rooster Teeth Games, and we got it made thanks to Brian and Zach. And holy shit, I'm so happy with how it turned out. Like,
That's
I don't know.
awesome.
I've never done anything like this before. This was like a huge new experience for me. So getting the game people who knew how to do this involved in making this happen was just very interesting and eye-opening and awesome experience for me personally. And it's already out on store.roosterteeth.com.
You can buy it now.
Please check it out.
Please
It's
buy it
really,
now.
I think it's really cool.
It's very cool.
We spent a ton of time on the last episode of Death Metalcast talking about it, so I don't want to spend too much time per se. I'm not going to bore you guys again talking about this game. But real quick, I just want, if you did not watch last episode, the idea of the game is that it's a dueling game where it's a dueling game using cards and dice where you're going essentially blow for blow against an opponent. You play a card, they play a card, you play a card, they play a card. And each card assigns dice and has other effects, and each dice has its own effect, and you are essentially trying to change the opponent's arsenal, affect it in a way, or build up your own arsenal, so that when the battle finally culminates at the end of you setting up all your cards, you have the best odds of winning that duel, that dice roll with all your cards and all your special effects and whatnot. And it uses armor, weapons, and skills to do so. It can sound a little complicated when you try to when you watch somebody playing, but essentially all it comes down to is both players are playing 5 cards, and each card has a different effect and assigns dice. And once all 5 cards are done and all those effects are applied, you roll the dice. That's it. That's the basic idea of the game.
Sounds
It's
easy
really
enough.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, as you get into the different effects, there's a lot of different strategy involved, and a lot of different things you can do with your armor, with your weapons. Especially the armor and weapons, they have like effects that can affect the different skills that you play, and so there's a lot of extra strategy you can incorporate into defeating your opponent.
Like a Mario game, it's easy to play, hard to master.
Exactly. That's the general vibe we were going for. So it's on store.roosterteeth.com. If you get it now, basically if you get the first shipment that has come in, it's got a little sticker here that says it comes with 20 bonus cards, Rooster Teeth themed.
If you've already ordered it, yes, you're getting those cards. It's not like a starting out today thing. It's the first shipment we got from the warehouse comes with 20 bonus cards that are all Rooster Teeth themed. So if you've already ordered it, you're getting those cards. Don't worry.
If you were at RTX, we had sold a very limited first print of the game. It's the same cards that came in that as well.
Yeah. Nice.
And yeah, so we'll be giving those cards away with the game with no extra charge until this first shipment of games is just completely sold out.
Yeah.
That's basically it. So hopefully it sells well. If it sells well, if you guys like it,
So far it's doing well.
I would love to keep building on this game and make new cards
Make
and new
expansions.
Yeah, a lot of the cards, most of the cards are inspired by death battle episodes. So there'll be like a weapon or an armor that is clearly inspired by something that you saw in a death battle episode. We have 117 or something death battles at this point.
Yeah.
There were plenty of different characters to draw inspiration from. Please check it out. I really want it to do well because I have all sorts of ideas about what I want to do and where I want to take this game, but that won't happen if the game doesn't sell, obviously. And if it doesn't sell, then that's that. Plenty of people have already bought it and told me they enjoy it, and that's a win in and of itself, in my opinion.
One of my favorite things about the game is that it's a 2-player game. As I've got like a modest-sized board game collection, but it's hard to find like really fun, engaging 2-player games. You know, so like if you just want to play with one
Have
other
you played
person,
it with your wife yet?
not Death Battle,
Okay,
but we will.
Okay, let's see how that goes. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. Is like when I want to play a board game with my wife, we only have like one option at home right now. But now we will have another, and
Yeah.
it's great.
Is it Clue?
All right, it's time for the Death Battle unboxing, everybody. It's such a neat little box. I love Kara Curley is like the primary art designer for it, and she did such a fantastic job building this box. But
It's got battlefields on the inside.
yeah, that
It's
you
very
roll
cool.
dice into. But if you, it's primarily built to be a 2-player game. But if you go to the back of the instruction manual, there are a couple additional ways to play. One of which is Death Battle Royale, where you can play with as many people as you want. You'll probably need additional boxes because you'll run out of cards real fast.
So just buy multiple copies
but-
of the game.
Theoretically,
Just buy 6. Buy 6, call some friends, play the game.
Exactly. Theoretically, you could get a group of, 20 people together
Just spitball a number out of there.
with 20 boxes, if you want to buy 20 boxes, and just have a 20-person battle royale. And the general idea would be you do all the same steps, but when it's time to fight, you choose who you are playing against, who you are attacking.
Cool.
And so you can... What I hope this kind of turns into is that people will make alliances with each other. Because some people will start losing armor, some
It'll
people
be
won't.
Top 10 anime betrayals.
Exactly. I would love that.
Can you attack multiple people at once?
No, you would only be able to target one
One at a
person
time.
at once.
Figured, I just wanted to know
according
if
to
I
the
could-
rules. However, the thing about this game is it's built in a way where I would be very interested to see custom rule sets. I think you could totally do it because, frankly, that's
Well,
how the battle
the
royale came up.
Cards are modular, so yeah,
Exactly.
it's pretty simple to kind of come up with your own play style and play your friends' custom
House
games.
rules.
Like at the back, there's also. I forgot we named it this. There's also a game mode at the back of the instruction booklet called Master Debaters, where you instead of rolling dice to win, it's up to a debate who would win.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So there are additional game modes, and I would love to see if any of you guys could come up with a game mode of your own. It's totally doable. Like and I don't know, maybe if we make another expansion at some point, somebody's idea could get into it. Who knows? Like we literally don't know at this point. We could do anything with this game.
Maybe at
the
the next
future's wide open.
RTX, you could do people do a tournament. And they play
yeah.
Wiz in the final match. see if they can beat
Oh my
Master.
god, that'd be hilarious. I love it. Let's do it. Man, it's just I've seen some people ask whether or not it's a cash grab. Because it's fair to think about, oh, this seems random. Like, this is just like a quick cash grab for them to try to make money off of this cheaply made thing. And because that exists, right?
Yeah.
And I do want to say, we were not assigned this. This wasn't a project we were told to make and we had to come up with at the last minute or anything like that. This was something that I pitched, that I was passionate about, that I really wanted to make. And hopefully people can see that comes across in the final product.
I feel like you
Also,
can see it just looking
we
at
give
it.
you 50 fucking dice.
Yeah.
Name like a cash grab kind of card game. Like, yeah, cards are cheap. Dice aren't. We give you so many fucking dice. They're all custom made. Like,
No.
Custom dice can get
Beautiful.
expensive.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the game is about $30 right now, which is not bad for a game with 50 custom
not
dice.
bad. Yeah.
Like that's kind of cool. I was actually kind of worried that would be more expensive, and I thought, man, if this gets over $50, I don't know if people are going to buy it. But I think it's pretty reasonably priced for what comes in it. So again, store.roosterteeth.com. Check it out, please. I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of what all these guys have done to make it happen. And we have an AMA coming up, right?
Yeah, we'll do it on Reddit here later today. So if you're watching live, check for that. Probably around 1:30, whenever we
Sweet.
finish up with Sunday.
We should probably post something on Twitter about that.
Yeah, we will.
It's probably important.
Yeah.
Anyway, last thing about the game, I do want to bring up something that Christina put together.
Oh, yeah.
Just randomly last night. Can we bring up that art?
what?
This looks so good.
Oh my god!
It's very, very
That's
cool.
so
anime and
good.
cool.
Our own Christina Christopherson put this together last night, completely
So
unprompted.
cool.
She just decided to make this, and it looks so neat. I love it.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's very cool.
This is my new Twitter banner, by the way.
I love the cards
Yeah.
flying towards the screen. Oh my god.
That's all good.
I love it. I love it so much.
I mean, that could be a poster easily.
Yes, absolutely.
I paid $15 for it.
Actually,
you
I'm
go.
probably going to send that to the merch people. Be like, hey, if you need marketing assets, I need to do that
It's
right
very,
now.
very cool.
Don't mind me.
So thank you, Christine, if you're watching. If you're not, I assume you're probably working on the next.
Probably
thing you're working on. All right. Is there anything you guys want to mention about Dracula versus Ganondorf versus Dracula before we move on to the next segment?
I mean, I could go over a little bit of like working with Devil and all of them.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting. It was a very fun time working with them. We used this thing on I think it's on the workshop or it's on some other website that allowed us to basically zip up all of our files and send them to each other if we ever needed to make tweaks or like share assets.
So it wasn't just, like Devil makes a shot and then he just submits it and then that's that. It
Yeah.
was everybody working together.
Yeah, a little bit. For the most part, we all worked on our own files. But like, if one of us wanted to tweak the other's file, we could zip up the file and send it off, and we would be able to open it with everything that they used, which normally you're not able to do with Source because it just saves itself as one little DMX file, and you can
Gonna
open
give
the
it to
file,
you.
but if you don't have the assets, it's just going to be a bunch of big red errors. and you're just like, well, something's clearly wrong.
So the source in and of itself, like by itself, is not necessarily made for like a multi-person
Collaboration
project.
thing.
Yeah.
Where you can just share files at any point, because everybody's got their own strengths and weaknesses, right?
Yeah.
So in order to make this death battle work, certain shots somebody would do all the animation for, and then
Well,
somebody else would take care of the effects or
Yeah,
whatnot.
for this, I'm sure when they made Source, it was an in-house, so they had server usage.
Oh,
like,
sure.
That's true.
Like that probably. Yeah.
Yeah, the
But
most
you also look at Valve's animations, and it's not quite the same kind of thing that we're doing.
Don't you shit talk Papa Valve.
Oh no, their stuff is hilarious and
Yeah.
wonderful animations, but it's primarily built on showing off the game and the characters of
Yeah.
the game, not
Oh yeah.
crazy explosions and fights and characters from different environments interacting with each other and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I think
It's not quite as crazy.
the most important thing is that everyone has the same assets, because if you don't, the arrows come up and you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part about just working in Source Filmmaker is the community, because like everyone's just kind of helping each other and testing things out. Like people making auto riggers so that you don't have to bend each individual arm and leg, and it's crazy just seeing people put stuff up for free.
Yeah, and well, with it being
awesome.
Steam, it like kind of has its own built-in like community hub form thing. Unlike you don't see that kind of community around like Premiere or
Yeah,
like
oh,
any of
no,
the
yeah,
others,
everyone-
because it doesn't it's not built into the service to have like a community hub like
Yeah.
Steam is.
Yeah, people are just doing things out of like the passion for the games and movies that they like. So
Yeah.
that's my favorite part about working in Source.
And that's part of the reason why this is the direction we thought we might try to take
Yeah.
for this other sort of 3D animation. Like, I can't emphasize enough that when we started this episode, Ganondorf vs. Dracula, for the longest time, we planned to make it a 2D sprite animated fight. Like, that was the original script, and everything was built with a 2D sprite animated fight in mind. This Steam Workshop thing was just kind of an experiment that we started with, and we thought, we'll see how this goes, and if things don't work out, then we can always just go back to the sprites. It'll be fine. We really didn't know how this would turn out at first. We had
Yeah.
backup ideas, plans in mind, of course, but there was every possibility that it could have just fallen flat on its face.
Yeah.
So the fact that it turned out as amazing as it did, I love it. I love it.
And then that's because of just Daito and his friend. I don't know how to pronounce his friend's name. It's Gui Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This guy, like, whenever there was a problem, like something wasn't importing right, or like there was an error or something that we couldn't figure out, this guy solved it within the next day. So like, this fight
A lot
was
of models and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like this fight was so smooth that it was weird. I was expecting something to go horribly wrong at the end, and the episode airs, and I'm just like, wow. So
Yeah, it happens.
Oh, everything came together as good as it could. Okay, cool.
and also just Devil Duvad and Dai Tomodachi, all of them are just fantastic animators, and it was a riot talking to them and working with them.
Yes. I would not be surprised if you guys see another death battle from them in the future.
I'm looking forward to it. I really hope so.
Yep. All right. Do you guys want to move on to the next segment?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. It's time to talk about what's going on.
Look around you. It's a wireless world. We've got wireless phones. Well, we've had those for a long time, but one thing that is very important to be wireless is your earbuds, because having dangly cables all over you when you're trying to run or do anything, or be in an airport is terrible. So just get some wireless ones, but don't spend a fortune. Go to Raycon and get yourself some awesome, reasonably priced earbuds. Especially the new E25s, which are their latest model, and they're the best ones yet. They have a 6-hour playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, compact design that gives you a nice noise-isolating fit. You name it, they got it. I mean, these Raycons, like, I've had a pair for probably 6 months now, and they've become my, like, daily driver headphones instantly. They're awesome. They're just super compact. They're just great for pretty much any scenario you find yourself in. Raycon wireless earbuds are so comfortable, the perfect on-the-go fit for listening and for talking on phone calls, which is another nice thing about Bluetooth headphones. Plus, they have good buttons on the side of them, which you can skip songs or like pause, and it also makes you look like a cool secret agent when you do this number. And that's probably the most important feature if you're going to ask me. And unlike some of the other wireless options, Raycon earbuds are both stylish and discreet with no dangling wires or stems or any of that stuff. You don't have this weird like radio station thing poking out of your ear. It's just little earbuds, nice and discreet. So you can go ahead and get yours at buyraycon.com/cast, and that'll give you 15% off. So go to buyraycon.com/cast and pick up a pair today. 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Really good deal. Buyraycon.com/cast. On with the show. What is going on?
I don't know.
Stuff is happening with streaming services.
Streaming services.
right.
You guys probably saw the gigantic, like 600 or something tweet thread that about
power
Disney
move.
Plus.
That's a weird. Did they send it like a bot? And then
Every individual tweet was a different piece of content that was going to be airing on Disney Plus. It was mostly just like old stuff from the
50s.
From 1937 till now.
Yeah.
It's just
Wow,
everything.
even that far back.
It's a very sizable collection of movies and TV shows and animation and things like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot on it. Like, if you're really into Disney stuff, if you're really into Star Wars in particular, it's pretty good. I didn't even think about it, but the Fox merger that they had earlier,
right.
changed quite a bit. I don't know if they would have been able to pull this off quite as well. Namely because they
That's
actually
probably why they did the Fox merger.
Yeah. They actually didn't have the distribution rights to the original Star Wars films
I did not
up
know
until recently.
Yeah, 'cause it's Fox, yeah.
Star Wars 5, 6, and the prequels, Fox was going to own the distribution rights up until next year, I think in May or something like that. And then technically Fox owned A New Hope indefinitely.
Yeah.
Like Disney would have never been able to get it until this happened. So
Crazy.
I didn't even think about it when that happened, but maybe the Fox merger was just about getting A New Hope.
Yeah. It's a smart move.
Because now they're gonna have every single Star Wars movie on this thing, which is really cool.
I really
want them to somehow fix the special editions.
I was gonna say, I really
see.
hope they put up like the original and the special editions, and I kind of hope they do 1 through 3 as a super cut, like it should have been. Like,
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That would certainly help. And the problem with the special editions is that supposedly the original
Are lost
films
forever.
are lost and
Like,
destroyed,
yeah,
or
like-
not lost, but George decided to use them to make the special editions or something like
Yeah.
that. So he basically just rewrote the files, like in computer terms.
No.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Yeah, the Laserdisc version is basically the best version that exists at this point.
Scan that.
So you
Buck
scan that,
wild.
you
You
can.
got that?
There's some like fan-made Blu-ray HD
Right,
edits. They're pretty good. So I think if anybody's going to actually make this finally happen, it's Disney.
Yeah,
I'm kind of excited about that possibility.
And if Star Wars fans are on the fence about Disney Plus, that would get them onto Disney
yeah.
Plus.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
original
well,
films.
also, how are they not on for Mandalorian? Like,
that's true.
I'm full send Mandalorian right now. Like, I'm gonna get the service just to watch that.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Hopefully that's cool. I mean,
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, yeah, after episode 1 or 2, I might be like lame and cancel it, but like I'm
but you
ready
gotta
to try it.
wait week to week. Did you
yeah,
know weekly?
that is interesting. I think they're the only streaming service that's doing that television sort of release schedule.
Yeah, I mean, like for everything. I think Netflix has some stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Like,
obviously they do the
Netflix
binge model.
has like timely stuff, like Patriot Act is week to
Right.
week because it's like a weekly news thing. It
Yeah.
makes sense to do it that way. Explained is like they do some things like that. I think a mix is the best way to do it. There's some shows that it is like, yes, please drop it and binge watch it, and then there's other shows where there's value to like Game of Thrones having it be this like weekly thing that's like
Yeah.
a big like you stay in the media forever. Like so,
an
yeah,
event.
I think both is the best of both worlds.
Or it'd be really funny if Disney Plus was like, we're just going to do everything weekly, even the old stuff. So on day one, you only have episode 1 of 1,000 shows.
No.
And you have to wait-
Gargoyles episode 1.
you got to wait like 30 years to watch all of The Simpsons.
Honestly, there's
Oh no.
there's something to be said about like having that watch along experience. Like,
Yeah.
that I hope they do integrate a system of watch this with your friends, and like you can have like tallies, like Josh is on episode 7. You can like and
Oh,
you
that
see
would
his
be
little
cool.
icon because like I've always wanted those kind of features, so you can
Yeah.
like kind of talk together, and even like
Xbox Live for
yeah, well, Xbox Live
Netflix?
had it for like a moment, and it was so unfeatured. But like that expanded, I think would be great. Even if like whenever you have your significant other out of town, like just hey, here's a button we can click so we can watch the show we normally watch together, even though we're apart.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, like it can sync it up so it's not stupid, and like that would be fucking great. Like I'm in.
That
like,
would
you
be
know,
great.
In a
yeah,
perfect world.
exactly. It's like nice. These are fucking free. I'm giving you free bangers, Disney.
Plus,
Come on.
write them down.
Wait, you're supposed to save
HBO
these.
Max.
Yeah, you're supposed to save these.
Oh God, Sam.
Sorry, Papa Warner.
Our parent company needs
Oh no,
these.
the brothers. God, they're gonna get me now.
Sam, is your phone ringing?
Disney, stop watching. Actually, on that note though, HBO Max, of course, owned by Papa Warner, our parent company, is coming out, as well as Apple TV and Peacock, which is NBC's thing, which people will buy for The Office.
Yeah.
And that's about it, probably.
Yeah.
Because The Office was apparently the #1 thing on Netflix for years.
Yeah.
Well, that and Friends. Let's not fucking
when they brought that back.
downplay Friends. Like,
Which is ours. That's HBO Max.
oh yeah, that's sorry,
yes.
that is. My bad. No, yeah, you're right.
Victory!
We have that one. That's what. Supposedly, we had the fucking Friends couch over.
Oh yeah. I took a picture on it. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
is it still there? I want to go.
I don't
take a
think it's
picture.
still there
Oh
anymore.
my God, I can't believe we missed
It
the
wasn't
Friends
like
couch.
it wasn't the couch that they filmed
No,
on.
but I'm sure they still
Yeah.
had like a dozen. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was a fucking couch. It's not like they made. It's like we've made one couch for the intro to this. Like, no, they just
Yeah.
went to like whatever Crate and Barrel at the time was and bought a cool couch, and then like that became the Friends couch.
Yeah.
Well, with all these streaming services coming out, I've seen a lot of people complaining that there's just too much, that it's becoming cable. And I wanted to see what you guys thought about that. Do you think it's too much?
I think even if it becomes cable and basically replaces cable, it'll still be better than cable.
Well, I never had an issue with cable. I had an issue with all the advertising
Yes.
in the not being able to watch shit on demand.
Right.
Like, I would rather pay per interest than a bulk thing. So yeah, like that's fine with me. Like I'm fine with that.
hmm And I think there's something to be said about like if there's so many, then there'll be competition. They'll want to be better at each other. Like Disney Plus's model is $7 a month. That's half Netflix. It's like if they can compete with each other and make the prices more competitive, and then like try to make better
I can't
stuff.
believe
The basic package for
Right, the
Netflix, I
base
think, is like
package.
$8, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that it's $7, that's the thing. I'm curious if it's gonna be like, yeah, it is $7. But if you want 2 streams or 3 streams,
Oh,
like
sure.
I think my Netflix is like 15, and I have 4 streams, so it's like I can watch it, and like I have parasites that feed off my account, and like they can watch it, and it
does.
doesn't like go down or anything like that. So yeah, like will that be a part of the $7 package, or is it going to be
I
one
don't know.
singular
That's a good-
account, one
That's a
stream?
good point. I
Like,
don't know.
For me, I don't know. I'm a little hesitant on all because there's so many streaming services, and like, sure, some of them are really cheap, and some of them are not so cheap. Like like Hulu is to get it without ad, it's like $12 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
And Hulu, I think what they do is they you have to buy like basically like cable packages to get some movies and shows, and like at the end of the day, if you subscribe to Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Peacock, so on and so forth, HBO Max, you get like $70 a month because you want to watch maybe a couple shows that you're like maybe you're not interested in a ton of shows on the platforms, so like you're only interested in 4
Sure.
or 5.
But then again, that's kind of how cable has always been.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to check in on the numbers in terms of how much a bunch of streaming services versus cable would cost, because a lot of the complaints that are coming up is, well, this is just going to become cable, and it's going to become more expensive than cable. It's actually not, though, because here's the thing: cable is fucking pricey.
Yeah,
it can get very expensive. I mean, obviously, cable can be packaged in. Most of the times, you get a
How
package
much
with
is
the
fucking cable these
music,
days?
or not music, with
think the
phones
la-
and stuff.
last
So
time-
I checked the average pricing for cable, and so according to Fortune.com, the average amount that is paid across the U.S. As of last year is $107 a month. Now that is
ads.
with a
What?
bunch of different things, like that
like
could also
HBO and
include
Showtime and shit.
yeah, that could also include packages. So the basic average, like the average per month that you could get from basically, I looked at a bunch of different packages and tried to find the basic cable purchases you could get without phones, without internet, whatever.
Yeah.
And to me, it seemed the average was about 60 to 70 a month,
Yeah.
which is still
A lot of
way
fucking money.
more than paying, $10 for Netflix a month.
Yeah. No,
and even
yeah.
if you were to get a bunch of streaming services together, Netflix, if you get the basic package, that's $70 a year. Disney Plus, $70 a year. HBO Max is $190 a year, but that does come packaged with like Crunchyroll and a bunch of other stuff. So it is HBO Max is like a different beast. Also, HBO is in it, which is already $15 a year, or $15 a month. And of course, Amazon Prime, that's $120 a year to get Amazon Prime Video. That obviously comes with other services.
Yeah, Amazon Prime is a fucking banger.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
some of their shows are excellent too. They have great shows.
If you were to combine all of that, you would still be paying less than if you were paying for basic cable for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say.
I just think it's better.
Yeah, no, I you guys make good points.
Yeah.
I think I'd go with
Is that the
streaming
only one I'm
services
gonna
over
like?
cable.
Peacock, man.
Yeah, I'm just
Well, I
gonna
don't know how
buy
much
The
Peacock
Office
is
on
going to be.
DVD.
I didn't find that.
Like maybe Peacock's $5, I guess, because they'll also have 30 Rock, right?
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
that- yeah,
Oh,
that's
30
probably,
Rock
yeah.
is a banger. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be a tough one.
Well,
to
I
give up,
wonder,
but-
like, because Hulu will be interesting in all of this, because Disney owns Hulu, but as far as I know, they're still maintaining their relationships with all the other networks. So, like, will new episodes of The Good Place, will that still air on Hulu when Peacock is launched?
I have Hulu Premium, and it's the one I still dislike the most.
Yeah.
It's like you can get shows, but it's like these weird fucking windows where they close
Right.
them off. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's so they can get reasonably priced deals to compete, but still, it bothers the shit out of me.
I didn't know they could close them off.
Yeah, it happened. It happened literally. It was like I signed up for Hulu Premium for season 3 of The Good Place because I was like, oh great, it's there. I'll watch it. And it had gotten to the point where all they had was like the earliest episode they had was episode 2, and I was like,
Right.
well, go fuck myself. And then it's terrible, and I'm still signed up for Hulu Premium, but
Yeah. Well, I'm sticking with Hulu because they're gonna have a package with Disney Plus. It's like $12 a month for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN.
Actually, my Hulu I think I get for free now because I
go.
have Spotify
Oh,
Premium.
right, and there's that deal.
which is that's a deal. That's a deal
and that's
right
that's
there.
really, even though there are a ton of these subscription services coming out, I think that's ultimately where this is going to head. There's going to be a lot of combinations. We already see it combined with HBO is a very good example. If you get an AT&T phone service, you can get HBO with that. Like you can get it for much cheaper than you would if you also paid extra for it. And obviously HBO Max is going to have a bunch of stuff combined. So seeing Disney Plus get combined with stuff, seeing Netflix get combined with stuff, I think is going to eventually happen, which will just make it easier to have that big. Because a lot of people, I think, have gotten a little spoiled by Netflix just having everything.
Yeah.
Right.
We kind of, I think that's just that middle period where
Yeah.
Netflix innovated the thing, so they had everything, and now everybody else is like, well, wait a minute, we own that. We should probably distribute
there
that
will
ourselves like
probably
we used to.
Right.
never be anything as full featured as current Netflix.
Yeah.
Or older
It's a
Netflix.
Sweet time.
Yeah, we were gonna miss out on some of it. And
Yep.
sure, Netflix was wild for a second there. It was like fucking everything.
We're ending the golden age of streaming services or streaming service.
Yeah.
Into the age of the plural services.
Services.
I guess that golden age ended a while back when Hulu and HBO came about, but whatever.
I guess the Peacock will have Saturday Night Live too. I guess it has a couple of good ones.
But the tricky
Saturday
thing with
Night
Saturday
kind
Night
of
Live has
sucks.
always been weird because, they didn't intend for it to be streamed 40 years later. So a lot of sketches are not in the cataloged episodes of the streaming things or like musical performances. If it was like the full episodes of Saturday Night Live in their entirety, I mean, that would be like similar to the Star Wars thing. Like that would be a deal breaker or a game changer for like SNL fans
yeah,
if they had it the full episodes.
yeah, weird.
Are they separated out? Like,
No, it's just like, an episode of Saturday Night Live is like an hour, right? But if you stream some where they're currently available, they're like 30 minutes or 40 minutes. They like have to cut stuff out
see.
because
Yeah,
they don't have the
own
rights for everything.
musical rights and all that
Right.
stuff.
so everything's
yeah.
a little separate. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Sucks to be them.
Just another point for HBO Max. We got your back, Warner Media. Who runs HBO Max?
Yeah, it's Warner Media. Yeah,
Yeah, Warner Media.
I don't know. Whoever's over there running it. Anyway. Whatever. There's a bunch of streaming services coming out.
Can't wait for that
I think it's going to end up being better than what we've had. especially
Oh, yeah,
since
I'm
this is
excited about it.
promoting competition, which is what I think the streaming industry has needed for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see how this develops. But
I'd love to see like the ability to like look up actors. Like, you know, maybe you're watching a show and you're just like, oh, that guy looks really familiar, and you maybe hit pause and like a sidebar might come up. It's like, hey,
Amazon Prime does that.
this is-
Amazon
it does.
Prime and HBO
Oh, I didn't
both
know
do
that.
Yeah, it's really good.
pretty cool.
HBO for a minute there had I don't know if they continued. They had a really cool watch by feature for like Game of Thrones. I remember where it was like somebody would pull out like a fancy sword and it would have like a little tab that would be like, "Yo, here's a little information on the sword and stuff." And then they'd be like, "We're going to King's Landing," and they're like, "Here's a map." Like, it was really it was
That's
really
cool.
really helpful.
Until they started quick traveling.
because like you really had to watch it at
Fast
the
travel.
computer and like click on them and like pause. But
Gotcha.
still, like it was nice to have that
cool.
option there.
Yeah. Let's see. Tim 10,000 in the chat was asking, or wait, maybe it was Tim 10,000. Yes, was asking, where's the Death Battle streaming service?
Rooster Teeth first, I guess.
I mean, that's the same kind of
YouTube?
situation as Saturday Night Live.
Right.
We're not going to be able to be on HBO Max because they don't own
Fuck no.
Ganondorf.
No, they don't.
Where Death Battle is always going to be. Death Battle was built for YouTube, and it's probably always going to be for YouTube.
What if we put the episodes up, but we just kind of like black out the characters themselves?
Oh yeah.
But even the
Censored
names
version.
would have to be blacked out.
You just put like a guy saying a random name or just a bleep.
Blank
really
versus
funny.
blank. Just everything is blurred.
Yeah.
Right. Except for the Warner
References to the moves.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
awesome.
Except for the Warner characters.
Yeah.
We got Luke versus Harry Potter from way back when.
Yeah, that's
all of the
perfect.
Luke Skywalker stuff is blurred out. But anytime we see Harry Potter, it's perfectly clear.
So the characters we own would be perfectly visible, but
Yeah,
the characters they're fighting are just like black squares.
Exactly. Yep. Okay. So stay tuned to that. For that on HBO Max, I guess. No.
That'll never happen.
No. But plenty of Rooster Teeth stuff is going to be on HBO Max. So a little plug for that, I guess.
Yeah,
That
pretty
wasn't
cool.
intended, but sure. Whatever. Pick whatever streaming service you want. I don't care what you pick. You do you. All right.
Netflix and whatever else you're into.
That's basically what it
That's
is,
gonna be-
right?
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have Netflix, and everybody else is gonna pick, or everybody's gonna pick at least one more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
That's what it's gonna be.
probably Disney
I'm
Plus.
probably Disney Plus for most people. I think. Like,
I mean,
Yeah, unless
they
you get,
own
like-
40% of the
It's
entertainment
too
industry.
cheap at this point to not.
Yeah.
Like $7 is like so reasonable.
With so many choices too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
HBO, come on, we gotta compete.
we need to talk about Community Death Battle.
Yes, we do. Let's get to that. Before we get to the community death battle, let me tell you about Bombas. Did you know that socks are the #1 most requested clothing item in homeless shelters? Well, Bombas is on a mission to change that. They created the most comfortable socks in the history of feet. And for every pair of socks purchased, Bombas donates a pair to someone in need. It's very nice. Designed with special comfort innovations, colors, patterns, lengths, and styles, Bombas are perfect for the whole family. Get your hand on a pair of Bombas socks, and your feet will thank you. Bombas has donated over 20 million pairs and counting. They're made from super soft natural cotton, and every pair is designed with arch support, a seamless toe, and a cushioned footbed that's supportive, but not too thick. They have some nifty wool socks, designed to be breathable, dry, and never itchy, with just the right amount of thickness. I mean, if you wear wool socks, you know they can get really uncomfortable real fast. So this is really awesome. And also, I'm a fan of how they add color to their original quarter socks and the colored hiking ones. They're really neat looking. They're just really cool looking socks. With tons of different colors, patterns, lengths, and styles, Bombas also makes the perfect gift for everyone on your list. So, save 20% on your first purchase when you shop at bombas.com/cast. That's bombas.com/cast to save 20%. bombas.com/cast. Thank you, Bombas. Let's get on to this community death battle.
This one's funny
Oh.
and weird.
This one's so random.
Magneto versus Danny Phantom.
So
like
real
that.
quick, before we jump into it, as always, the community death battle, we leave up to you guys to determine who we think should win and why using #DeathBattleCast on Twitter. But I also want to try something. A couple weeks ago, we tried this, and I think it worked pretty well. I want you guys to let us know what you think the next community death battle should be. So while we are going over this, I'm looking at the chat. If you're watching this live as a first member, first of all, thank you. We really appreciate it. Second of all, let us know. I'm looking at the chat. Let me know what you think the next community death battle should be. Please let me know if you're going to drop some names for characters. Also mention the franchise, because I'm not like all-knowing. I might not know the specific name of the character, but I might know the franchise. Or the show or comic or whatever it comes from. So go ahead and just start posting in the chat. Let me know. And as we're talking, I'll be glancing at that every so often. And then by the time we get this community death battle wrapped up, I'll have one picked out. Sweet. We'll see how this works. If this works great, then this might be the new regular that we do moving forward. I don't know. Could be cool. Could be a complete mess. We'll find out.
Until DBX comes back, fingers crossed. Go watch the show.
Yes. All right. So this week's community death battle is Magneto versus Danny Phantom.
I like how it took you a little effort to say that.
I mean, it's an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what you guys had to say about it. So for Magneto, we got an answer from Charles E. Winnick. And Charles says that he's sadly siding with Magneto. I guess he's a Danny Phantom fan, but he's sadly siding with Magneto. Magneto has much more experience as he can pull the Break World Bullet, react and block Mjolnir, single-handedly beat Apocalypse, and creates wormholes. While he cannot harm Danny in ghost form, he can force him out by controlling his energy.
Did not know he could do that.
And then what is this note here, Gerardo? I see like a note underneath it.
Responded to another, responding that he can actually hurt.
Okay, this was also from Charles?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess he also mentioned later that Danny could be affected because he's not only is he still human, but he also has been harmed by plasma energy multiple times from ghost hunters, including his parents. Most importantly, ghosts still give off heat, which Magneto can control. Danny's fucked.
Oh yeah. I didn't. Oh damn.
Magneto has, I guess, he has some control over heat because of magnetic polarities and whatnot.
Yeah.
Magneto in some iterations has control of like way too much shit.
Yeah.
So I did look up. I didn't recognize the the Break World Bullet at first, but then I looked it up and I remembered it's basically just this giant hunk of alien metal that was being shot at Earth, and he was able to take control of it. He memorized what kind of metal it was. So he previously saw it, memorized what kind of metal it was. He can just figure this out because of he's just Magneto. He memorized what kind of alien metal it was, memorized its structure, so that when he was on Earth, he could sense wherever it was in the galaxy. And then as it was being fired at Earth, he was like, no, and he stopped it. And then he just brought it down to Earth because Kitty Pryde was in it, and he helped her get out, and then just sent it back.
That's nice.
Nice.
So
Someone else's problem.
he's
Blows up
Magneto
Mars.
is very powerful. The dude, if he really wanted to, he could probably just flip the Earth around, like by just taking control of its magnetic poles.
Yeah, he's Magneto in a lot of iterations is super fucking strong.
But let's see if Danny Phantom has anything. We've got an answer from Warped Mask. And Warped Mask says, Danny's intangible spectral form can keep him out of Magneto's grasp and helps him remain one step ahead against the many metal projectiles Magneto can throw at him. He can kill what you can't even touch. Looks like Eric is the one going ghost in this bout. I got a little pun. Okay. I almost will have to give it to him just for the pun.
Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts?
Well.
Magneto.
Well, I was gonna say I think Danny, because you know he's damn it, I forgot the theme song.
What does Danny do?
It was a
He
joke.
does ghost stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
he can
turn
fly,
into a ghost.
disappear.
Yeah.
He's more unique than the other
Magneto
guy.
is insanely powerful in hunts and kills Nazis.
Oh, no,
like he's just got it. Like he's got the experience. Like he's
the
killed
experience for
many
sure.
people before. I don't think Danny Phantom's ever killed anyone. Like
No, he usually shoves them into
dealing
something
with
like
the
this, and
people
then
that are already
Yeah.
dead.
that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever actually won a fight. He's just kind of
yeah, see,
Yeah.
like there you go.
Wait, you mean by like murdering somebody?
Yeah, no,
Obviously, his character's not gonna kill anybody, but still, like I feel like Magneto's just got this. Like
I just can't imagine their fight, I guess. Like, what
Yeah,
would they
it is
do?
very
It seems like you put this giant god
even
against
if
an ant.
yeah, even if Danny Phantom, like, what does he do to hurt a superhuman?
I mean, he's still really strong. Like he lifts up buses like they're nothing.
Okay, but try throwing a bus at Magneto.
He'll think it's cute and then stop the
Just
bus
go
the
in,
second
right,
it leaves his hand.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, he theoretically could Danny phase into Magneto
He could
and do
over-
something weird with his body and kill him that way.
Has
Like
it-
this is a death battle.
yeah.
We're using death battle rules.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though even though Danny's a nice kid who would never kill anybody, in death battle we remove that.
Yeah.
He's on a murderous
Has,
rampage and he's ready to
has he ever
kill this
been-
old dude in a goofy metal suit.
Has Magneto ever been like possessed before?
I think so. So long as you can get he's got the helmet on that protects
Yeah.
him from psychic attacks. If you can get that off, you can psychically do whatever with him. But Danny
Can
is a ghost.
Yeah, he can
I don't
overshadow
think the
people.
helmet's going to protect him from being possessed by a ghost.
Yeah, like he can
It's a little
literally just
different.
fly right into him
I
and
mean,
take.
yeah, and his kitty pride ever like passed through him? 'Cause
I believe
that
so.
would, that would probably tell us something
Yeah.
about that.
Well, she passed.
Still, like, what is he gonna? Has he ever possessed a human before?
Oh yeah, no, he did it
Okay.
like all the time in the show. And ghosts can
So
even
it's pretty
possess
much
other
if
ghosts.
Magneto can affect Danny, which I think he can. Magneto's gonna win before that ever happens.
Yeah, I
And if
won't let that
Magneto
happen.
can't affect Danny, then I guess Danny's gonna possess him, and then
Yeah, so
would
that's
he
the
be
key
able?
thing.
Can he sense like invisible people? Because Danny can Danny can go invisible as well.
I mean, assumably, if he affects literally anything around him, Magneto would be able to sense like a magnetic draw. Like,
yeah, that's fair. We do. I think humans do have like a little bit of that. Do they?
I mean,
No?
any form of electricity would.
Oh yeah. I think Magneto's actually done that in the comics before, where he's like taken control or like manipulated a person's body because
Yeah.
of the electricity in the body.
But would ghosts have
ridiculous.
that? Because ghosts are different from.
Ghost form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That who knows?
Yeah, I'm-
That's something that if we did an actual
I
death
mean,
battle on
yeah.
this, we would
if-
go into.
If he's the kind of ghost that would show up on like one of those EK meters, then that is the concept of that.
Right.
Oh, I guess so.
So in
I
that
guess
sense,
so.
yes.
It's got to give some sort of electromagnetic wave of some kind.
Yeah.
You fucking dunked
Yeah.
on Danny.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's go ahead.
Magneto.
Let's go. Oh yeah. Vote. Magneto.
Magneto.
I'd like to say Danny, but it's I can't really see it winning Magneto.
I'll go Danny. Just to hope.
I kind of want to lean. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna vote Magneto.
fucking
I guess I'm gonna
Magneto.
vote
It's
Magneto.
Magneto.
All right, let's go
Let's be
ahead and
fucking
bring
real
up the
about
poll
it.
and see what you guys thought. What do you know?
I'm not surprised.
Bullshit.
I'm not
You say
surprised.
we have a bias?
I'm not surprised. I mean, like Danny's got like a cult following.
That's funny.
Yeah.
His show's great.
In-
It's one of my.
Oh yeah,
Our cult
I watched
following.
Danny Phantom, or like, I watched a little bit of Danny Phantom a while back.
Like a
I thought it
ghost
was pretty
joke?
good.
I coincidentally like recently watched it like, or rewatched it like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
So
So you should know everything.
I do know.
and you're
everything.
here asking if Danny Phantom has
I mean,
electromagnetic
there are some
pulses.
things that the show just doesn't touch on.
It's not in the theme
Does he
song. How are we supposed
ever
to know?
get, like, he gets hurt by plasma, which says a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
Is he ever, like, vacuumed up?
vacuumed up. Like you mean?
Well, I
Like
assume
sucked
they do,
into
like,
something.
a
I mean-
Ghostbusters
Right.
parody thing.
yeah, like you know the
Because
thermos.
his parents are ghost hunters, right?
They're ghost hunters, but the dad is incompetent, and the mom kind of helps him when he's incompetent. But like on her own, she's a total badass. And he gets sucked into the thermos that he uses to catch other ghosts every
That's
now and then.
right.
Yeah,
That's right. They catch ghosts in that.
yeah.
So yeah, they
so
can
if
be manipulated
ghosts
by
can
something.
be trapped in a thermos, which is typically metal.
But it's
I think it's not like a ghost catching thermos, right? It's just a fucking
no,
thermos.
it's a ghost catching thermos. It's
You know,
like
Okay.
Mythbusters.
I
But
just
it's
wanna point out-
probably metal that Magneto can be like, oh yeah, and he'll just make one around Danny. And then I don't know, he just
And
throws
then-
it in the fucking ghost
I think there's more
incinerator
to the-
box.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
it's
the trap.
specifically designed to catch ghosts.
But I do appreciate that this random as fuck matchup has created some relatively interesting conversations. Maybe it's not so random after all.
I mean, in terms of power scaling,
All right. So thank you all for voting, and also I did not think about this. Some people in the chat mentioned this because I totally blanked on it. But I basically just started spam like a big spam war in the chat.
Oh,
Great.
no.
So I probably moving forward, it'll be sort of a only post your idea once, otherwise.
No copying
It'll
and
be
pasting from
ridiculous.
your Google Doc of ideas.
So sorry I didn't set that up this week, but didn't think about that. Going forward, we'll do that. Only
Hindsight's
only
2020.
post it once. I did
was-
scroll through everything.
what was the best one you saw?
So the first one I saw that actually really sounded interesting to me as also kind of a random matchup, but it makes sense when you
Those are
think
good
about
ones,
it.
yeah.
Is Zuko from Avatar versus Dinobot from Transformers Beast Wars. The villains who turn good.
How big is Dinobot?
That's awesome.
I believe the Beast Transformers were a little smaller than the normal ones.
Oh, really?
And Transformers already aren't like super huge compared to other giant robots.
I mean,
So it's still going to be like Zuko,
Optimus is like
Dinobot.
a semi
but-
truck standing up, but like he's not.
Yeah.
humongous.
Can you imagine if
He's
you
huge,
actually
but
did
not
that as a
crazy.
death battle and Zuko would just be as tall as a giant so that he wouldn't be able to get stopped?
Do we do this just to even up the playing field? We might do this during the Sozin's Comet so that Zuko has his full power.
Yeah.
Sure,
Um,
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Red Sky, Dinobot with all of his every single weapon he's ever had, I guess, and then
Yeah.
Zuko with Sozin's Comet. Here we go, I guess. And this was
great.
suggested by Dude Blade X. Okay, so that's the next community death battle: Zuko
Interesting.
versus Dinobot.
Can't wait to see the
We'll
results
see
of
how
that.
this goes. Moving forward, yes, we'll have a few more rules for this, but I think this will work fine. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're winging it. Whatever. that's
that's
what we
fine.
do here at Death Battle Cast. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode. Again, please check out the Death Battle game. We're super excited about it. And if you have not seen Ganondorf versus Dracula yet, super excited about that too. Again, so much props to you and you
Daito.
You didn't work.
I don't really do shit. Yeah.
for making such an amazing episode. So go check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
See
See
you
ya.
next week.